10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hello and welcome to Satellites 56. Look at this. How exciting is this? Welcome aboard Starflight Alpha. This term, we are going to be traveling throughout the universe, trying to answer some of life's big questions. And we're going to do that in a couple of ways. We've got a Kahoot quiz coming up. So if you've got the Kahoot app ready to go, or if not, then get it ready to go. And or a separate tab on your browser so that you've got that ready so that you can play along. And excitingly here on the screen, you'll be able to see that there's 1, 2, and 3. And as we progress throughout this session, the leaders of the Kahoot quiz their names will appear on that screen. How exciting is that? And if you win, and if you are in second and third, your names will transfer over to next week, so that everyone will see that you won last week. How cool is that? I mean, it's so exciting. And I'm not alone on this spaceship that I find myself in. I am joined by my AI sidekick, Ollie. Let's see if we can get him on board. Hey, Ollie.
Hey, Charles. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Ollie. Ollie, what's the weather like outside?
Oh, well, it's very grey today, but we haven't had any rain. So that is great for me as a computer.
Wonderful. Well, that is good. Who needs Siri when you've got an Ollie? That's what I say. So shall we get into it? Let's get into it. Let's do our Kahoot quiz. So Ollie, can you reveal to us what the number is that they need to enter into their screens?
Yes, the Kahoot code is 6974766. And that'll also be on your screens.
Oh,
how amazing.
It will be. Yeah. And the important thing to say about this Kahoot quiz is that it's split up into 2 parts. But you will need to keep your screen, just keep it open for the whole of this session. So don't turn it off after the first round is over. Make sure that you keep it open. Otherwise, your scores will be, I guess, will be back to 0. Is that right, Ollie?
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, the scores will reset if you leave the Kahoot, but you will be able to re-enter, so you can still join in the fun.
Great. So the first round of the Kahoot quiz, we are doing the 70-year. Ollie, tell me, who's joined us?
Oh, we have got plenty of people joining. We got Isabel for a start. We've got Bunnies, who's got lovely emojis next to their names. So that's great. We got Isaac, Cat Girl. Oh, Cat Girl. That's wow. My name is Josh. So that is a great name.
Josh.
Well, it could be. Let me do some computer analysis. I think it is. Yes, that is Josh. Yes.
Wonderful. Are people still joining, or shall we start?
I think we are arriving at our arrival point. Oh no, we have one more entry. Okay, well, let's go.
Well, you can still join even if we've started, I believe. So this is the first round. Is all about. It's called the 70 Years Quiz, and it's basically the idea is if you live to be 70 years old, on average, this is how long you'd end up spending doing certain activities. So on average, you'd spend a certain amount of time doing these things. So the first one that we're going to look at is how long do you think you'd be stuck at traffic lights? Is it 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, or 6 months? Ollie, have you ever been stuck at traffic lights?
Well, unfortunately, I have never been. Well, I guess actually, fortunately, I've never been stuck at traffic lights because I cannot drive, because I am not real. But if I was to be stuck at traffic lights, I probably think it would be 5 months, maybe.
5 months. Okay, well,
we have the answers, and the answer was 6 months, which unfortunately nobody got, but we had some great answers across the board.
When you say great answers, you mean the incorrect answers?
Yes, but it's about the taking part. So
it is. Well, has that done anything to our scoreboard then, Ollie?
Well, it hasn't, so I think it might. I mean, I'd say it's alphabetical, but it's not. But Scrooge is currently in first place.
Okay, well, welcome,
well-
Scrooge.
Well done.
Let's move on to the second. Hopefully, people will get this one. Okay, waiting in line. How long on average do you think we spend waiting in line? Is it 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, or 2 years? Which one?
Again, I have never waited in line. I mean,
Do you not have to wait online if you were online? If that makes sense.
yeah. Sometimes I wait in a virtual queue, for the internet. It was a bit slow today. I might have to wait a bit longer, but never an in-person line. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what people think.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the votes are in, and 2 people got the correct answer, which is you spend 1.5 years of your life waiting in a line.
That's
Wow.
a long time, isn't it? 1.5 years of your life just stood like waiting for something. That's a long time.
I'm glad I can't wait in lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see who's waiting in line for the leaderboard.
Oh, I like that. Wow. Computer analysis. My name is Josh, whose name is Josh, is in first place, followed by Catgirl. So well done to you two.
Hey, well done. Cool. Well, let's see if you can hold on to those spots as we head into question 3. How long do we spend in transport? So that's being on a train, being in a car, being on a plane, all of those together. Is it 5 years and 6 months, 6 years and 9 months, 7 years and 6 months, or 8 years and 9 months?
I mean, again, this is very sad because I have never been on any sort of
You are on a
transport.
spaceship right now, so you are in transport.
That is very good point, Charles. Well, I spent all of my life on this spaceship, so for me, the answer's not even up there, which is your lifetime.
Yeah. But
Luckily
it's
for
not
everyone else.
about just you. It's about an average if everyone was to live to 70.
True. Okay. Well, the votes are in, and 4 people got the correct answer, Charles, which
Yay.
is 7 years and 6 months.
Right.
That's a long time.
That's a very long time to be in a car or on a plane or in a train. It's a long time.
Let's see the leaderboard. Oh, our first 2 places have stayed the same, but Samuel, Bunnies, and Isabel have all moved on to the leaderboard. So well done.
Well done. So whoever's in third place, you will be appearing on the leaderboard. So make sure that you can see that. Okay, cool. The next question, I feel like people might get this one. Watching TV, how long on average, if you were living to 70 years, how long would you be watching TV? Is it 7 years and 5 months, 8 years and 5 months, 9 years and 5 months, or 10 years and 5 months? Either way, that's a lot of TV.
That is a lot of TV.
I wonder whether we broke it down, Ollie, we could kind of work it out together. So like if you think about how long like a TV show is.
Oh yeah, they're about an hour, aren't they, usually?
Well, yeah, some of them are, aren't they? Like, so if you think about how many TV shows you might watch in your lifetime, how many episodes that is, that might help you arrive at your destination, which is?
Let's see. The answer is 10 years and 5 months, and 7 people got that correct. That was brilliant.
Well done.
Wow.
Well, let's see if that's changed anything.
Let's see if it's changed the leaderboard. Oh, the leaderboard has changed quite a lot towards the bottom. Isabel is now in 3rd, followed by Benjo, and then Scrooge has pulled into 5th. So that's very exciting.
Nice. Okay, this is the final question for this round. Remember to keep it open. Don't close it. So the final one is sleeping. How long on average do we spend sleeping? Is it 5 years, 3 months, 10 years, 3 months, 15 years, 3 months, or 20 years, 3 months?
Well,
it's at least 3 months. That's
yeah, that is true. I only ever get to sleep when Charles remembers to turn me off. So
that's true. Yes.
Yeah.
I tend to put you in sleep mode, or I tend to turn you completely off, I guess, because to save energy.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Well, Charles, the answers are in, and 8 people got that answer correct, and the answer was 20 years and 3 months.
That's mad. That's about a third, just under a third of your entire life is spent sleeping, doing nothing.
Gosh.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Shall
Cool.
we see the current leaderboard
Let's.
going into our break? Oh, Benjo is on a streak with 3 correct answers in a row, and he is pulled into first place, followed
Wow.
by Isabel. So
Amazing.
that is very exciting.
That is good. Have you made a mental note of your computer servers of who's in the leaderboard, Ollie?
Yes, I am going to be updating the leaderboards now as I speak.
Great. Cool. Well, let's get back to it then. So remember to keep up your Kahoot quiz because we will be coming back to the Kahoot quiz in a bit. But before then, we are going to watch a clip from Youth Alpha, which is a video that Martin and myself have been filming over the summer holidays. And so for your enjoyment. And we have been looking at this, at the quiz that we just did, and we saw how busy life is and how much of our life is taken up. And our lives are full of questions. And so we discussed about what makes us happy. And out of that, I said that if I had 24 hours to do anything I wanted to do, I'd go to Disneyland. And that's kind of where you find us in this clip from Youth Alpha. And remember to watch this clip really carefully because the second round of the Kahoot quiz is all about that clip. So make sure that you're watching, listening, and making mental notes as to everything that goes on because there might be a question on it afterwards. Well, Disneyland is great. It's literally titled "The Happiest Place on Earth," right? And that's its slogan. But I wonder whether that's true. Like, there's lots of things that we do that would make us happy for a day, but whether it would make us happy in a long-term situation,
Oh, yeah.
is different. There's lots of different happinesses.
There's different kinds of happiness. So you go to Disneyland and you ride the roller coasters for a day, and you have this sensory pleasure that's like immediate to, you know, oh my goodness, all the bright colours, oh the Disneyness, you know, oh it's Belle, you know, I get to go on these cool roller coasters and rides. I mean, you know, people tend to go to Disneyland for like 4 or 5 days, and by the end of it, they're still loving it. But I wonder if they went for like 12 days or 20 days or 3 months, eventually queuing up for those roller coasters and sitting on them again for the like 25th time, it just might not feel quite so exciting. And so there's short-term pleasure, but then there's also kind of different kinds of happiness. And then there's more of a sense of contentment, like a sense that like you're happy with your life as it is. So you might get that if you lived in or worked at Disneyland. I'm sure that was a career option for you at some point.
I auditioned.
Did you?
Have I not told you this story?
No.
So I auditioned for Disneyland, and it was like the most.
So just trying to bring that back to my point. So there's another level of happiness beyond just like immediate pleasure, which is more like a sense of contentment. So you know, in a parallel universe, a sliding door moment, Charles Merritt actually gets the job as Goofy at Disneyland Paris, and suddenly it's a completely different. And you probably really would feel content being a cast member, and you'd feel like your life was going quite well. But I think there's like another level of happiness that's even deeper than those two, which is about a sense of like meaning, a sense of purpose, the happiness that comes from knowing you're doing the right thing, the right place, that you are, if I may say this, just in episode 1, really being the person you were made to be.
Wow, I can't believe we got to that so quickly.
And so, so I think it's interesting to think like unfortunately, Charles, you know, spending your life at Disneyland wouldn't necessarily make you happy to the sense that you felt you were absolutely like getting the most meaning you could out of your life.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think.
No, and it's good. It's important to think about that because I think we often go through life thinking, if I just get this job, if I just get these grades, if I just get this, then I will be happy. Yeah. And actually, when you get those things, you discover, well, either you discover A, it doesn't make you very happy, or B, you discover, oh, I now need to do this to make me happy. So I got that thing, but actually I need now to go on to that. And you know, we can get caught up in these goals and in these dreams and in these happiness bubbles, I guess, that we forget like the big picture, like the big picture of life, like what is life. And we'll go back to this quote, which we've said a million times, but it's such a good quote. And it's by C.S. Lewis, and it says, Christianity is a statement which, if false, is of no importance, and if true, of infinite importance. The one thing it cannot be is moderately important.
Yeah, I think that's a great quote, and it kind of sums up why we're going to do this Alpha course together over the next few weeks. It's the idea of there's no point investing your life in something that's not true. But if it is true, if the claims of the Christian faith are actually true, and you're just sort of pootling along, kind of just being a sort of a bit of a Christian, what are you doing? If it really is the meaning of life, then we should understand what that means. So we're going to try and explore what that actually looks like over the next 12 weeks. Just gave myself the chance to dub there. Nice. Yeah, does that work? Okay.
That's great. Well, we're now going to watch a testimony from a guy, and which tells you a little bit more about what we were just chatting about, but it's a personal experience.
When I was young, at the age of about 12, my mother had a major nervous breakdown, and she was hospitalized for extended periods of time. My father also struggled with alcoholism. I had two brothers, and we were basically left in many ways to raise ourselves. Those experiences marked me, and going to bed at night, I remember through my tears saying, God, if you're there, I hate you. And I decided the childhood that I had was not going to be my life. At the age of 18, I committed to the idea of becoming a millionaire by the age of 30. So by the age of 35, the idea of being a millionaire had been achieved. I owned a company with over 500 employees. I had a beautiful home, beautiful wife, 2 kids. I could go where I want, when I wanted. I had way more money than I ever hoped for, but I wasn't happy. And I realized that there's still a deep darkness inside of me, a void. So now I'm forced into this really profound, deep journey, like what's life all about? I have epilepsy, and for some reason, I started having seizures more frequently. We have a lady who worked for us at that time in our home. Her name is Bonnie, and she was a very sweet lady, a Christian lady. Bonnie saw me after having a seizure one day, and she called my wife and she said that God had told her to come pray for me. And I said, well, I know it's not going to do any good, but I like Bonnie. So she prayed for us, and for some reason I cried through that process. Didn't know why I was crying, but Bonnie left and we thanked her for coming over. So the next day I saw a friend, a neighbor, who went to the same church Bonnie does. And I asked my friend, I said, hey, are you going to church tomorrow? And he says, yeah. I said, well, do you mind if I come with you? He says, sure. He was quite happy to bring me. So the next morning we're standing in church together. And as the worship music begins, for some reason I begin crying. And I'm doing everything in my power not to cry, but tears are running down my face. And in that moment, for the first time, God's love for me was so real. The reality that He loved me was nothing short of completely and totally mind-blowing. I worked hard and pursued wealth my whole adult life, trying to fill a profound emptiness inside of me, a darkness that I walked with every day, only to discover that emptiness could only ever be filled by a relationship with the living God.
Wow, I hope you were concentrating, because we are now going to go over to the second round of our Kahoot. So if you haven't joined yet, and you might have been late, the code is, hey Ollie, what is the code?
Hey Charles, the code is 6974766. Very long code.
That is a very long code. And look, down here, we've got the current leaders. So wow. If you, I can't actually, Ollie, read out the leaders to me. Remind me.
The current leaderboard is Benjo in first, followed by Isabel, and then my name is Josh, which computer analysis is Josh.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Well, that could all change in this second half, so make sure that you are playing along. Okay, let's get back into the Kahoot quiz then.
Nice.
So, this is the second round, and this is all about what we have just watched. So hopefully you will remember. So first question is, which Disney character did Martin say Charles would play? Was it Olaf? Was it Donald Duck? Was it Belle? Or was it Goofy? Which Disney character did Martin say Charles would play if he got the audition? Which was a traumatic experience for me, by the way. Thank you for asking, Ollie.
Well, I was about to say, I don't know which one Martin said, but I do know you are very goofy. So, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's a compliment from...
I thought you would say that I make you Olaf.
Very good, Charles. Very good.
You're programmed to give me compliments.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, shall we see who has voted for what?
Yes.
Oh gosh, they were all... I mean, there was a good amount listening. 11 people said Goofy.
Well done.
Which I didn't actually know was the answer, but Charles is Goofy. So, well, it's
I'm going
a
to have to
compliment.
reprogram you later, Ollie.
Yes.
Cool. Well, let's see what that's done to the leaderboard then, shall we?
Or Benjo's maintained his first place position, but the bottom of the leaderboard has all shifted. Oh goodness. Catgirl is now in third. Bunnies has pulled into fourth, and German Stranger is in fifth.
Woo!
Yeah.
Exciting. Well, the next question is this. It's a quote from myself. How vain. We can get caught up in these goals, in these dreams, in these happiness. Is it balloons, bubbles, boxes, or bags? Happiness balloons, happiness bubbles, happiness boxes, happiness bags. They all begin with B, so...
They do. That's very good computer analysis from you, Charles.
Thank you. Well, yes. Yes, well, which one did I say? Was it balloons, bubbles, boxes, or bags?
Right, let's see if everybody was listening. Wow, 100% were listening to that quote from Charles, which was bubbles.
It
Wow.
was. Well done. Okay, let's see. That might not have changed anything.
But let's see who was the speediest. Or the small shift, and German Stranger has pulled up into that third place.
Woo!
But one thing to point out is Ella is our highest climber currently.
Keep on going, Ella. You might be able to climb into the leaderboard.
Yes.
There's 2 questions left. Okay. Who wrote this quote? I'm going to have to try and remember it off the top of my head.
Christianity in false is of no importance, and if true, of infinite importance. The only thing that it cannot be, is moderately important.
Beautifully read, Ollie.
I am a robot, so... Yeah.
Is it A.A. Milne, J.K. Rowling, J.R.R. Tolkien, or C.S. Lewis? Who wrote the quote that we quoted in this episode? Is it A.A. Milne, J.K. Rowling, J.R.R. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis?
Where's AI Ollie? He should be on that.
AI, that is true.
Yeah.
That is like your initials, isn't it?
Yeah,
AI.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I unfortunately didn't write this quote, so...
No, you didn't.
Let's see if everybody was listening to who wrote this quote. 100% got the correct answer, which was C.S. Lewis.
Now, Ollie, obviously you are a computer, and so therefore you have access to all the information in the world.
I do.
Do you know which books C.S. Lewis wrote?
Yes. The Bear on a Bike and...
The Bear on the Bike.
Oh, okay. Peter Rabbit.
It wasn't Peter Rabbit.
Peppa Pig.
I think your internet search history needs to like change or something because it's
Yeah,
not quite right.
I'm currently waiting in a queue.
Oh, I
So,
see.
yeah.
Well,
for the
C.S.
internet.
Lewis wrote The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion and the
Ah.
Wardrobe, and all those books. That's-
Well, he's basically a bear, so
it's a lion.
okay.
Okay, let's see what that's done to the leaderboard.
Oh gosh, Bunnies has pulled into third, so that is very exciting. And 5 players are on an answer streak of 3, so we could see a big change in the leaderboard.
Okay, well, this is the final question. It's still all to play for. That ultimate spot on the leaderboard. Okay, the final question is this. What made the man cry? So the man who told the story at the end, what made him cry? Was it the beautiful singing, Was it the church building? Was it knowing God's love? Or was it Holy Communion?
Beep, beep, beep. Charles, would you like me to order some tissues from Amazon?
Yes, please. I think I'm going to need it after this.
Yeah.
What made the man cry? Was it the beautiful singing, the church building, knowing God's love, or Holy Communion?
Let's find out if people were listening. Oh, we had a good majority with the answer, which was knowing God's love. So well done.
It was. Right. Well, let's see what the leaderboard is. Let's see our winners.
Let's see. Drum roll, please. In third place with 6 out of 9 was Bunnies. Well done, Bunnies.
Well done, Bunnies.
In second place was Isabel. Well done. And in first place was Benjo. Well done.
Well done, Benjo. Well done. Cool. Well, let us go back to the main hub together. And here we are. Welcome to the main hub. So just before we go, let's just wrap up this whole thing that we looked at today. So we've kind of been looking at this idea that life is super, super busy. And we can get caught up doing lots of different things, like watching TV for 10 years and 9 months of our lives, or something ridiculous like that. And maybe we don't spend enough time thinking about the big questions in life, like, why are we here? Why do we exist? Like, is God real? And going back to that C.S. Lewis quote of, if Christianity is true, if Jesus really existed, and if Jesus really was the Son of God and all those things, if God turned out to be true, then it changes everything in our lives. It changes, the way that we act. It changes the way that we think. It changes the way we behave. It changes our outlook on life. And so it's not just a question that we can spend 1 minute thinking about and go, does God exist? No, I don't know. No, never mind. Carry on. Like, this is a question worth pondering about. It's worth exploring. It's worth spending time over. So over the next 12 weeks, as Martin said, we are going to be following this Alpha series, and we are going to be looking at these questions, these big questions of whether Jesus existed, who he was he really the Son of God, and what does that mean for our lives if it's true? And so hopefully you are enjoying this episode. We've loved having you here aboard Starflight Alpha. Hey, Ollie, just remind us, who were the winners this week?
So in first place, we have Benjo, followed by Isabel and Bunnies, who should all be on your screen now.
Wonderful. And they will be on our screen next week when we log on. You will be able to see them here. There we go. Here we go. There you go. That's where they will be. And you'll be able to see them. So next week, make sure you tune in, play along. Remember to listen really carefully to the Youth Alpha video. And if you would like to watch the whole of the Youth Alpha video, if you would like to see the full thing rather than just the clip, then you can find that in the weekly email that we sent out yesterday to your parents, and ask them to view the whole thing if you want to see the whole thing uninterrupted. And yeah, it's been lovely. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been such good fun. Ollie, have you had fun?
I have had such a great time, but I would like you to unplug me now.
Oh, that's a bit dark.
So I can go to sleep.
Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah. You need your sleep.
I need a bit of a rest.
You need to catch up on your 10 years worth of sleep. 20 years.
My master Charles has kept me plugged in for the last 10 years straight. So I need to catch up on my sleep.
Well, let's put you to sleep then. That sounds very dark. We shall see you next week, same time at 4:30 here on the Satellites at St. Mary's YouTube channel. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.